Okay, question number 4. Solve the following quadratic formula. And here it is. Doesn't instantly look like a quadratic formula, but we need to be able to recognize that actually things like this are quadratic formulae. In the exam, actually, I'm not really focusing too much on this. It'll be a clear quadratic formula. But let's have a look at this as an example and focus on what we need to do to be able to use this idea of a quadratic formula. Well, if I look at this, I can see I've got an x underneath, so I don't want that x underneath. Multiplying through by x, I'll get rid of it, which means I have to multiply every term on both sides of the equation by x. So that means that 4x times x, which gives me 4x squared, plus 5 times x equals 3. I've multiplied each of the 3 terms in here by x. You see how that works. Now it might look like more like a quadratic, because a quadratic, remember, has x squared terms in it. So more familiar, hopefully. The other thing we need to remember about quadratics is that the right-hand side must be 0. So I bring the 3 over to the left-hand side by subtracting it. So this means that 4x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. And this is a more familiar form of a quadratic formula. And we have to try and solve this now. And if you look at your formula sheet, you've got the quadratic formula. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So it's just a case of identifying what a, b and c are and plugging them into this formula. So looking at it, a, this is actually the solution to the general quadratic ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That's what this is a solution to, this formula in red. So a, in other words, is the number in front of x squared, so a is 4. B is the number in front of x, so b is 5. And c is a number on its own, so c is minus 3. Don't forget the negative. So write down what a, b and c are. A equals 4, b equals 5, and c equals minus 3. And then plug them into that quadratic formula. I would suggest to be aware of signs. Just put the numbers in directly first of all. So minus b is minus 5, putting that in a bracket, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that's 5 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is minus 3, all over 2a, and a is 4. So that's what I would write on the paper if I was doing this. And then I'd sort out the signs and tidy it up as much as I could before I use the calculator. So this would become minus 5, plus or minus. Incidentally, if this b would be negative, so if b would be negative 5, then minus minus would have given me a plus here. So we have to worry about signs. Square root b squared, which is 25. If this had been a negative, this b, again, the negative, you can slip up if you're not careful, because whenever I square a number, it's always going to be positive here. But if I put minus 5, as we've discussed, into the calculator, it gives me a negative, which will be incorrect. So be careful there. This is always positive. So this is, I'm going to do what 4 times 4 is, which is 16. And then 16 times 3, 48. But minus times a minus gives me a plus. So this I know is going to be plus whatever 16 times 3 is, which is 48, all over 8. So now I'm going to put this into my calculator, use the fraction button on the calculator, and then put this in. What do I do about this? I put the plus in first, work out what that is, and then the minus and work out what that is. So if you do it in one hit on the calculator, you can scroll back and just change the plus to a minus. So have a go and see if you get the answers. I'll put them below. So I get answer 0.443 or minus 1.693. It's a bit difficult to talk too much about accuracy in this question because they're not units in a sense. It's just a quadratic formula, one significant figure there, so, but difficult to round to one significant figure. So in the actual exam question, you'll be asked about quadratic formulae, maybe using the quadratic formula. So if we've got this quadratic formula here, this original one, use this quadratic formula here to find a value, given a value for x. And then you might be asked to now solve it to try and find out what x is. And when you're finding x, then you use this quadratic formula. So review how to use quadratic formula and solve them as well.